People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different?
This influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
What is it you're trying to do with your life?
I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do. And this influences my thinking and consequently my actions. Yes.
And what is that?
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different? This influences my thinking and consequently my actions. What is it you're trying to do with your life?
I am trying to do with my life something which few people try to do. And this influences my thinking and consequently my actions. Yes.
And what is that?
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different?
About to go down, homies. We about to get it done.
This influences my thinking and consequently my actions.
All right. What it do? What it do? Live stream feedback 49. We've done this 49 times. We're getting down. You guys submit your tracks. We have 14 submissions right now. We're allowing a couple more in. We're going to go over how good your song is. I'll give you feedback, mixing, mastering, sound design, composition, arrangement, everything you can think of we'll try to look into. Now, I want to download some funny sounds to the Stream Deck. So I think, so if I hear a good song, we can like do a sound effect and vice versa. So I think I'm going to set that up. Probably maybe like over here or something. Let's see. You guys can do this with me. This is how we get it done. If I remember how to do this one, I don't think this is seen. I need the chat. Let me get my iPad. All right, cool. Cool. Search soundboard, play audio. Yes, replace. Play audio. Replace this audio. We're gonna get the funny one. Let's do. Oh, what the heck just happened, Streamy? Okay, will that work?
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Okay, alrighty. All right, and then we need like audience clapping. Audience. Okay, dude, Stream Deck. What are you doing? Stream Deck is tripping, man. Let me finish this off, my boy. This is crazy. Camera went down. Audience is the last thing we need here. Clapping. Big clappers. Clapping. Yep. Okay, this should work now. Okay, cool. Nice. Now I have some sound effects ready to go. My camera is down. I'm going to fix that while we listen to the first song. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about my face. First submission. We got Wah 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 by Corvex. So let's get it done. Let's check it out. Let's have some fun. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Get your green on.
Brick on the bridge.
Oh, that's a riddy. A little bit of riddy. Alright guys. For sure. You hear the wah 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 with the wah wah wah. Oh, hold on. I gotta add. Alright. That's wah wah wah, my Corvex, if you know what I'm saying, while I'm saying it. The thing is we have some room for improvement on this song. Okay? So if we listen to the actual drop, we're coming at like -6 lefts. We're pretty loud, but the way we've layered our basses can be done in a better way so it sounds fuller. Plus the sub is currently a little bit weak. And right now with this, genre, the sub is really the main focus, and that's going to be like 70 to 80% of the actual drop. So this sub should be a lot fatter. Right now it's very weak, very small. You want to pump that sub up, clean it up. Lots of different ways to make good subs. You can watch my Dripment the Sisto sub video I made. And it'll help a lot too. When you listen to your main bass, the mid bass, and you try to analyze the frequencies that are playing, it's really just like high frequencies and not a lot of grungy mids or like low mids. And we really need those frequencies so that it can sound full and beefy, thick, So you're going to layer some low mids with your high rhythm yoinky yoink as well, a little wompy. That's going to help. You change up the pitch of this bass or change the bass completely. And that's cool, but really it's not enough variation. And this is like 8 bars. Yeah, this is 8. So over time, that variation gets very repetitive. You can do a lot more within the 4-bar phrases to add more movement, create more variation. You can keep the rhythms the same, but use like automation to slowly move things in time. And that can help a lot. And you want a pre-drop too. The build will lead into a pre-drop, which will then lead into the fake out. That silence there makes a big difference in the pre-drop. And then just add some lows like bass. Remember, just think of your lows, mids, highs. Just like you're DJing, we use lows, mids, highs. So when you're producing, think of your lows, mids, highs constantly throughout your song. So in the intro, we need to fill up lows, mids, highs. Right now, it's just like mids and highs. The kick is the only thing doing a little bit of lows, but we need a bass line. Bass line is everything. Remember, bass line is life. Bass line will get you to the point of eternal bliss. All right, guys. Good job. Wah, wah, wah. That's what wah, wah. Up next is Flipper with Melt. We don't know what's going to happen with cover art like this. We really don't. You may think you know, but you really don't know until you know during the knowing. Let me fix my screen of green. Green screen of the greening? Sick. So we're on the flipper. Let's hit it with the Melt. Get done.
Let both sides seek to invoke the wonders of science instead of its terrors. Together let us explore the stars, conquer the desert, eradicate disease,
Dude, those chords are so
half
beauty.
the ocean depth, and encourage the arts and commerce. Let both sides unite in all corners of the earth. To undo the heavy burden and let the oppressed go free. And if a beachhead of cooperation may push back the jungle of suspicion, let both sides join in creating a new endeavor.
A new
Not
endeavor.
a new balance of power, but a new world of law. And the weak secure, and the peace preserved. All this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor in the life of this administration, nor even perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin.
Very good. Very nice. That is Melt by the Flipper. Lots of vibes here, man. This made me feel good. This made me get lost in the sound, which is really important. You know, that's what about music. That's the amazing thing about music is it makes you feel, and you feel all these emotions. It brings you back in time. The chords that are chosen may have been played at like an earlier time in your life, and then these chords will bring you back. It's kind of like what's happening when I was listening to it. It's amazing. So this is awesome. There are some things that you can do to improve the track for sure. Otherwise, it's sounding pretty nice. Especially here, we got some super vibey chords. We have a really nice like lead vocal. It sounds like an old war like speech thing, administration. You know, it's cool. Adds vibes. It's kind of not the right vibe though. Like if you try to capture and figure out the energy in the drop, it's really not that vocal. You could find something that matches the energy better, and it would be really nice. It would be really nice. So I'll try to experiment with that too. See if there's anything else that sounds cool with your amazing chords later on in the drop. So looks like our drop is this section right here. We have the first 16. We add an extra 8 on top of the 16. This is good, but the energy levels start to die down here in the middle. And if you were to layer some like upper melodic sounds, right now this drop is really melodic. So if you listen, the downbeat, it's like a chord. Then you have like wubbies. Get back into the chord. And the chords are progressing over time. Start to sustain the chords. So this is like our main riff. Now we're coming back right now for the loop. But it's the same thing. And your phrasing here was 8 bars. So if you did this first 8 bars and then the next 8 bars, that's a whole 16 bars of basically the same thing. So over time, this will start to lower in energy because there's not enough added movement or new layers added in this section for it to progress. Basically, in EDM, like every section, like in house music and dubstep, your drop happens, there's energy, and you keep adding energy as the drop progresses. So basically, we're doing the same thing, adding more energy, and you would do it by like adding extra melodies. So higher octave melodies, like a synth line on top, like a new synth line, like down, da da down, 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 maybe walking down the scale in a higher octave that's not being played currently, or use a whole different instrument. But you want to add more energy by adding an extra layer here in this section, and then you can remove it. Then it gets quiet again for this last phrase, and then it'll transition perfect to the breakdown. So it'll be good, and then you'll do the same thing in the second drop. When you listen to the actual drop, though, you'll start to realize the sub doesn't have any like actual silences when it should. The sub will keep playing in times when it can actually be cut and be silent. This is the only time we don't have the sub in these little fills, but really we should have more shifts than that. So like in these sections, the sub is moving with the basses, but it's not, it's like the LFO is turned up and it's not fully cutting to silence. And you'll see like it's wubbing, but in between there's still a lot going on, and we need the dynamics to be like more dramatic than this. So it's almost like it's going to silence here, and then that will make it really clean. And then at the end of it, you'll have some silence too, just so that it doesn't sound like one sustained sub is playing, because that's basically what's happening. There's a sub that's being sustained and playing, and at the same time, there's movement happening. Oops, not that. Right here. So like in this section, you just, it's almost like it gets quieter if you compare it to this. So in these quieter sections, we need the sub to kind of match what the mid basses are doing. So you like have a special sub with more dynamics, more silence involved. It's really going to help with the movement, because the sub over time will start to feel less intense if we're just getting hit with a sustained sub the whole time. We need there to be dynamics, for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay, cool. Up next, we got Mipsy with Rhythm for You. Wait, Rhythm for who? Rhythm for You. Let's get it done. Who knew Mipsy would get it done until he got it done right now during the Get Done? some. Okay, all right. You know, that was pretty good for a rhythm function time. There's definitely room for more danceable grooves, more rhythmic elemental changes. It's pretty static. It's pretty constant right now with the rhythm. You do have some nice variations though, and you start to change it over time. But really, as soon as we get hit in the drop, we need there to be like full, intense, high energy. Let's check out. Yeah, so first off, there's no pre-drop, so we're just getting thrown in to the drop. And on top of that, there's no call and response, so we're just getting thrown into the response. So it's a really abrupt, there's no transition. You're just abruptly shifting the timing of everything. We really are doing these build-ups to build tension. As soon as the tension is built, we cut the tension to introduce something super crazy, and then you get hit with the drop, which is going to be full impact, basically. So we really want to utilize, like if you're going to be doing a build-up, you want to be finishing the build-up and like finishing the energy transition. Otherwise, we're just going to have an abrupt transition to the response, and then the energy levels won't transition properly. And this is important, you know, this is what we do with DJing all the time. So if you take out the super fast ones, put your super fast ones over here, add your little pre-drop, make it say something unique and cool like you usually do. And then when you get here, so basically, beginning's fine, but once we get to the end, we need to start switching it up, adding some different movement, silences, changes in the sub. Otherwise, it will start to get really repetitive after 4 bars. Remember, these sounds, these rhythm sounds, they're not new anymore. When they used to be brand new, right? When all these new rhythms were brand new, then you could basically do anything you want and it would work because all the sounds were so new to the listener and the audience. But right now, we got to make sure that if we're at the rhythm function at the club with all the rhythm, you know, top dogs, we have to introduce these new tones, new sounds that people haven't heard, new rhythms, new energies to get people dancing. Because people have been spoiled with the best music in the world already and the best frequencies, and it's so easy to upload music that this specific genre where we're just ripping the same square wave a lot of the time is going to get repetitive quickly. So you have to do like unique tricks with automation, silence, and you got to do it pretty quickly because right now you do variations, but they happen pretty late in time here. Let's check when the first one comes. So we start having some changes right here. It starts going a little bit faster. Faster right there. So basically you add a little bit of fastness, and that's kind of the only thing you're changing. And then the sub in general too can be bigger and fatter and control more of the mix. Yeah, definitely experiment with lots of layering, changes in the quarter note rhythm. It's going to help a lot. Rhythm is super fun, especially when you get it right. And up next, we have someone who does rhythm pretty right. So we're going to check this out, man. We're going to see what's good in the hood. You know who's next. We got Smileys. Smileys coming in with think you got it, question mark, parentheses, V1 playable, parentheses. Playable. Think you got it. Sounds spicy. Let's run it.
Think you got what it takes?
Let's go. Boy. No. Oh. Ounce.
Think you got what it takes?
Nice. Hell yeah. That's how we get it done, you know what I'm saying? Okay. This is pretty good, man. Lots of energy. You guys can feel it. You guys are dancing. That's the most important part of this stuff. This is EDM, electronical, dancing, musicals. And this is what we do. We get it done. All right. So, best things, danceability, overall energy, overall flow. These are the hardest things to do. Okay. So you got those down pat. But improvements can be in the mix, right? So it's like the mix is too loud, first off. It's very hard to turn it up. My ears are getting blown right off the rip. It's a rhythm song and we're at -3, which is just too loud, you know. Tearout is at -3, not rhythm. Rhythm is like -6 to maybe -4. But if you start getting to -3, -2, you have to be like super careful because you're damaging hearing at this point. So you have to be really good at mixing if you're going to let it get that loud. We can make anything that loud, but for it to be that loud and to be clean is the trick. And right now it's super loud. A lot of the harsh frequencies are coming out. Very abnormal levels are going on. Like the sub is super loud. Atmosphere is very loud while the mid basses are kind of turned down. It seems like there's too much compression going on. So like the dynamics have been lost in the overall mix. And it's like everything's kind of getting, in this weird little tunnel, it feels like. It doesn't feel like every single frequency has space to breathe, which is important. It kind of sounds like everything's squished in an odd way, which happens when you do over compression. At school, our professors would literally show us like their signal flow chains, and they would have like 6 compressors in a row, but they would all be like very small, low settings, and they would never go too hard on the settings. So your glue compressors, your regular compressors, your multiband dynamics, your OTTs, anything that does compression, you have to make sure you do a little bit, because we're stacking so much amounts of compression, and you just got to make sure you're aware of that as well. Otherwise, man, this is pretty sick. You got some sick sound design going on, 2 very unique sounds that you don't usually hear. So, you know, just feel the energy in the drop here. The whole call and response is you get thrown in to the drop, literally. Feel it. Like, boom, boom, like you just get thrown into the drop. That's really proper call and response here. This is how you make people dance. It's so good. It's a good job, man. This is awesome. Keep on getting your mixes down. If you're not bussing your sounds yet, you really should at least do some type of bussing so you can get all these. You have extensive multiple layers, and you want to make sure they're organized by frequency, and you want to make sure that they have space to breathe. You know, that'll make a big difference. Get it done, get it done. Good job, good job. Up next, we got FM, which might mean frequency modulations, but it doesn't. It means F minor, because you know who this is from? Lodon. The one and only Lodon has submitted a track with no name. It's just scale. Lodon may be in a time of despair where names are not coming, but keys have replaced them. Let's get it done. Uh-oh. Who's that? That you? Oh, no, that you. Welcome.
You ain't never thought of this.
As he grabbed the potion of elixir, he drank it from the snake's blood oil, and he became Lodon. Okay, well, very interesting. Very good, Lodon. We have went straight classical vibes. I don't know what this is from. I've heard it before, I feel like. It sounds very famous. These drums, though, very odd. I want to know. I want to know how you made this, because there's a lot going on. So, like, if you listen to the toms, for example, the toms in volume compared to everything else is so low, and these drums should definitely be bigger. It sounds like almost like a live recording of drums. So, when your source material is that low in volume or that, I guess, weak or thin, you're going to use a lot of compression, lots of saturation, lots of layering to make it sound, you know, appropriate for dubstep, right? Want to get those things fat. And, well, we're not even going to make them fat. We're just going to make them bigger. Really. I don't know why. I don't know why this comes to mind, but this like reminds me of slam poetry. Like sometimes they be doing slam poetry and there'll be a drummer in the background just ripping it kind of too fast. It sounds like there's too much drum hits going on. It seems a little bit unorganized rhythmically with all these drums. Like everything's on time, obviously, but there's like it doesn't match what is happening. All right, cool. Now, lots of mud coming from the like sub bass, the 808. We can barely hear the synth because of the bass. Like these mixing mistakes are. This sounds pretty. It sounds pretty un-Lodian, to tell you the truth. Usually with sub bass, it's really easy to like fuck it up and mess it up. Like if you start adding distortion, amps, overdrives, like too much saturation, like it's so easy to accidentally mess it up. And what I've been learning is with the sub bass, we can't use distortion. We don't really want to use those odd harmonics, but rather saturation, which is the even harmonics. They're super clean. It adds those beautiful harmonics. And when I say harmonics, those are just the multiples. So like if it's 100 hertz, 200 hertz, you know. So basically we want this sub to be as clean as possible. We don't want to be over compressing it either. We want there to be a lot of dynamics. Right now it sounds like the dynamics are squashed. Not a lot of dynamics coming through here. It literally sounds like everything's kind of squashed, maybe in the middle almost. Think of orchestras. Think of how everything's panned left to right. Think of if you listen to rock music, when they record and mix it, they'll be panning stuff randomly to the left, randomly to the right to clear up space in the stereo image. That's essentially what you're going to need to be doing, because the sub lives in the middle. It's mono, so it should have enough space while everything else is like wide and stuff. And then you can easily just like turn down the mono on all your other synths to blend it in with the sub when you have a super dominant sub like this. Remember, every song's different. You're going to be mixing it differently, but got to make sure that if you listen at low volume, it still sounds good. Right now, I'm at a pretty low volume, and you can still feel the mud. So you just want to double check on those things. Make sure you get that clean clarity. Full dynamics is important. You want as much dynamics as possible. Sounds good though. Lots of nice flow here. And to make this call and response really good, these fills should be like intense, like almost different, like a whole different melodic fill that adds more emotion, more energy. It'd make a big difference after hearing this for the 4 bars. See, like you add a little sprinkle of cool melodicness, but it should be like intense, like super emotional. Because it goes from like bass, and then like emotion. Bass, emotion. You could phone filter these out too. Remove frequencies, and then boom, this will hit fast. I love when those synths come in. Lots of really nice movement, melodically, harmonically. It's nice. That's cool. Lots of story, man. It's really hard to get as much story as you get out of these tracks. It's amazing. Good job. Not much to fix, but the mud thing, the image thing is something to be looking at. For real, for real. All right. Up next we got Dreadful. With Belial? Or Belly? Nope. It's not Belly. It's just Belial. Let's get it done for the get done. Let's go. Oh my Lord have mercy. Oh my Lord have mercy. Dang. Dang. Hit that. Hit that. Hit that. Hit that. Hit that. Good job. That was dreadful. Coming in dropping some dread on us. I don't know who told him to drop that much dread. But dude, simply the feelings and emotions I'm getting from this are just like I've never felt before. It's unlocking new energies, and it's crazy, dude. The way you create your motifs and the way you're creating these like movement patterns back and forth is amazing. This second drop is so dope. I have to listen to this again. So like the synth is like going slow. Dun, dun, dun. And you hear when the last synth rides out, it's like ding, it's like fading out. And as it's fading out, then we get our basses. And then it loops back, and he even sprinkled some notes in right before it loops back home. The perfect example of less is more, and this is how, oh God, people will get dancing, and you know, so much is going on with so little, if that makes sense. So it's like simple, so people can latch onto it, but it's still complex. So even though you listen to it for the first time, you still want to go back and you start hearing new things every new listen. There are some like transition bass problems right here. Like in these sections, you can cut the lows. There shouldn't be any lows. It should be like silence. Like all the subs playing, we go a little bit silent with the fill. There's like some bass in here still that's just like shouldn't be there, causing mud. Unwanted. There's something playing with the sub here that's causing mud. This is probably the only section that doesn't sound as clean as everything else. Once we get here, oh my Lord. Ooh, ooh. Oh, I love how you switch up the synth and make it go faster halfway through. We go from dun 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 to... And something as simple as that speeds up the energy halfway through and just adds, like, it gets me so excited. Yeah, just make sure these fills have bigger dynamic shifts, because they kind of sound like run-on fills, which doesn't feel as powerful or impactful as if there was like silent dynamic shifts. So remember, cut those lows like I mentioned. Fix the mud in those sections. And then in general, the rides, they're not rhythmically changing. They're just quarter note the whole time. So if you, in some phrases, speed up the rides or take out some rides or like make the flow of the rides match whatever else is going on in the drop, it'll help. Like you could like go half time, go double time, triplets. So experiment with different ride rhythms as well instead of just quarter note the whole time, because that did not sound natural. You can definitely flow more with those rides. It's amazing, man. Good job, dude. As usual. It's freaking dope. I really hope you're able to test these in the club somehow. If you're not playing them in the club, get your friend. Like, give him your track so that he can play it in the club. Get in the audience and feel the sub, so then you can go back home and make necessary adjustments to whatever you need to. It's a big difference when you test your songs in the club. I'm telling you. They got the subwoofers. I got all them subwoofers. Them big subwoofers. Alright. We out. Nice. We have Hector next. It's an in-cal collab Hector Servitude version 1. This ain't version 4. It's version 1. Look at these parentheses with the V1 in it. That's how I know. What do you know? Let's go. For sure. I'm Flo. I know. What? Well, Sam Heavens. I don't know what just happened, but that was pretty crazy. Damn. Wow. I've never really heard anything like this, and to be honest, the majority of it was freaking amazing. There's one, like as soon as I got hit with the drop, I kind of freaked out, which is really rare. You know, it's rare that I get surprised with a high energy, different drop. And it really reminds me of back in the day, you know, 2009, where you're like searching for like the heaviest drop, and then you find something so heavy and you're like, oh my God. Yeah, man, you kind of brought me back into that time, and it's been a long time. You know, the dynamic shifts in this are insane. So we go from like super loud to like these quiet almost shifts. You see these are really important. But the most important thing is these dang vocals, man. Like, people who don't like metal or rock, they might not like this stuff at all. They might be like, you know what, throw this away. But we say, no, not today, to them. Okay? Because once you're into metal and into rock, you realize how amazing and hard it is to scream like this. Plus, it adds so much energy. I mean, the energy is just insane. The human voice in general adds and creates so much emotion, and we connect to it so much. And when it's used in this way, when it's screaming and layered in multiple octaves like this, it's really impactful. And when you're using it like this proper, man, that transition's just crazy. Let's check that out. Check out that transy.
Save me from this never-ending agony. My broken soul chained to the machine.
That's so cool. All right, so pre-drop are just some rides, real quiet. Hit them with the crazy call with the huge dynamic shift right here. Check this. Before the call, we have a vocal. This makes it really important. As soon as the snare hits, we get thrown into the dancing. But like, it's so clean in these first two hits. It's almost like quiet. And then it goes crazy. Same thing, almost goes quiet. So these dynamic shifts are just insane. But then unfortunately, you guys did a little bit too much. And then things start to get delayed and a little bit off time. And the rhythm and flow that you just masterfully created from intro to here then goes away. And that's a sad time. It doesn't actually come back until the second half of the drop. And I'm just talking perfect quarter note, like as hard as you can fucking dance. Quarter note is the flow I'm talking about. Once we get over here, that flow starts to slowly like break apart. It's like sections like that, little off time guns. So you just have to be really careful with breaking the flow, because this song would be A1 hot sauce right now if it didn't have this little section in here. This is good too. Good use of the second drop. Like, God, if you play this live, like imagine at Rampage, people just danced really hard to the fastness, then you transitioned them into this. People wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know what's going on. This is a section that's really hard to DJ because obviously the BPM slows down dramatically, but if you're able to incorporate it well, big impactful stuff right here. So this is cool. Very creative. Lots of new flows, lots of new energies. I'm impressed. Servitude V1. Hit him with that V2. Hit him with the V3. And then we'll call it done. Good job, guys. Killing it, killing it, killing it. Up next, we have, was it Brixton? With N-O-A. Let's go. Broden or Brodan. Broden. We got the Flodan and the Rodan, so you never know about the Dan. Oh yeah, boy, we in it. Jeez. Oof, boy. Well, that felt good as hell. Nice, man. That's how you get it done. Whew. Like I said in the chat, we got some spiritual music going on right here, man. We be in the heavens. We be in the clouds. People be asking, where am I now? I say in the clouds, man. You've slowed time down successfully. You're like masterfully wielding time, you know? And it's intense, man. Like you're slowing things down and then making it feel all wavy, and you don't know what's about to happen next in the track. The dynamic shifts, like you're moving up and down with volume, amplitude. The bass is done very well, man. Like your sub, you add a lot of rhythm with this sub. You see how the sub stops perfectly at that clap. The long clap, I should say. So he's like talking between his instruments. It's amazing. Most importantly, in between these, we have really nice, luscious, ambient, almost liquidy chords. If you sped this up, you make some liquid drum and bass, you know what I'm saying? You'd be killing it in the liquid, you know what I mean? But this is a genre I can't even explain. It's like old school EDM trap, you know, but at the same time, like it's not. It's like its own beautiful, chill EDM. What do you guys call this? What genre is this really? You tell me. One thing we're looking at here is it is -12 in the drop. So this is too quiet. I have to turn it up a lot to hear this, and that's an issue. Even though the song is amazing and cool, if it's too quiet, it's going to make an impact on the overall energy, the overall listening experience when people are streaming it. You don't want to have to make people turn up your song when they play it. Though, you don't want to make this too loud either. So, with this, you want to keep it in the single digits. Right now, we're at -12. You want to be in like -8, -7. The rhythm songs go to like -5. The tearout songs go to like -3. But right now, for this ambient, chill, almost EDM trap style, you want to be at a healthy -8. So you're going to use nice compression, saturation on your groups, on sounds to get things loud. Issues usually arise when you start getting things loud. So that's the whole point of this, getting it loud and clean at the same time. Use your EQs to EQ first, then get it loud so you're not pulling up muddy frequencies. You don't want to turn up unwanted frequencies. You want to turn up only the good ones, baby. You gotta get groovy with those frequencies. You know what I'm saying? Get groovy. Good job, man. Lots of flow here. Not much to fix because this is a listening experience here. There is one thing I do recommend you add, which is a vocal. Remember how I said the human voice makes a huge difference when it's in your song. So add a nice vocal to match these little spurts or sprinkles of vocal phrases or ad-libs. Not like a whole verse, you know what I mean? Just, you know, nice little hums, nice little ahs, nice little everything. Get them vox. Get them box in there. Good job, man. That's Broden. Next, we have Surgeon with track 2. This ain't track 1, boy. This ain't track 3. He gave us track 2. Let's get it done. Can't hear you. Alright. For really though. For really. For really. For seriously. Ouch. On the eardrums a little bit on there. Quick ear break. Quick ear break. First off, the goods. You got nice flow. You got good sound design. We have nice song structure. Everything is coming through except we are pushing way too loud. We're getting way, way, way too loud here. -1 LUFS was really the peaking. Let's check it out again. -1.2 is really loud. -3 is ear damaging, let alone anything past that is irresponsibly loud. We're not really doing that loud. If you learn about this thing that happened like from the 60s to the 80s, it's called the loudness wars, and they taught us about this in school. And basically when they started recording and they started figuring out how to record music, the loudest songs would get to the top charts and be the most played song. So everyone's like, okay, if I make a loud song, I make a hit. So everyone was just making loud songs, and then the loudest songs kept getting louder and louder till we got to rock and metal. And then the loudness war started up again, basically with tearout. And if you reference Murata's tracks, you can see he strategically does not go past -3 LUFS. And I know he's doing it for a reason, because it's loud at -3 LUFS, and him being there is already setting him to the next bar of being louder than regular dubstep, which is like -6 to -5 LUFS. Or house music is like -8 to -6 LUFS. It's like, these are good things to know. Right now, -1, way too loud. It's very hard to listen to. Energy levels change because our ears are starting to get damaged. We're starting to get a little bit of tinnitus. You know what I'm saying? Tinnitus. It's a big problem. We're all getting it, and we all have to be careful because we're damaging our ears when we're monitoring at very high levels. Just be careful. Monitor low levels. Preserve your hearing. Use earplugs when you go to the shows. Or else you're going to die without music. We need the music, guys. So let's listen to this flow real quick. And also, we get thrown into the drop here. The transition is very abrupt here. Let's check this out first. So, remember, we're at -1.2, but look at the LUFS here. -13 LUFS. We need to be in the single digits, and we should be rising up, getting close to -4, -3 LUFS. But instead, we're super quiet at -13 LUFS. So the dynamics of the full song just don't make sense. And because of that, the drop sounds even louder than it is, which it is already too loud. So it just becomes a very abrupt transition. And we want to make sure these transitions are smooth, clean, and add energy rather than abruptly transition the energy. Like, I mean, the sound isn't. Lots of sick, amazing stuff going on here. Lots of mud though. Like in these sections, when you have a lot of mud frequencies playing, you got to be careful. Use your EQs on all your tracks. Tame these mud frequencies. So hard. And then some of these basses are very harsh, so you got to EQ those in special ways. Like, let's find it. Like this. This is almost like fingers on a chalkboard. So whenever you start to hear frequencies like that, you got to tame them. With Fletcher-Munson curve, you know, Fletcher-Munson curve is made to turn down the harsh frequencies to our ear. So you could get tools like this to help. No harsh. Harsh. Keep those things in mind, dog. It'll help a lot. Otherwise, keep it up. Keep the energy high. Keep those transitions right. Your intros should be -15. That's the quietest you should ever be in your intro, -15. And then when you're in your main sections, like build-ups, verses, drops, you want to be in the single digits, hover in those ranges. Cool. Aight. Looks like we got Mr. Tang. We got Tang with an Excision remix. It's a Throwin' Elbows remix. Now, I don't know if this is actual remix. I think there's a bootleg or a flip. A remix is when you get their original stems, which makes it a lot easier to do the remix. You have more control. If you have an official remix from Excision right now, bro, I'll freak out. All right, so let me know. Just let me know. If you know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying, no. You gotta let me know. Let's throw some elbows with Tang. Actually, before I piss myself, I'm gonna have to go to the restroom first, so I don't do this on Tang. Can't do it on Tang. You know what I'm saying? Tang.
What is that?
I am not completely like other people.
What do you mean by that?
People dislike me because I am not completely like them.
And in what way are you different?
This influences my thinking.
Alright, we getting it done during the get done. It's Tang throwing elbows time. Let's get it.
Elbows.
I done threw my elbow, broke my elbow. That's Tang. Man, that tag that came in on the second drop, I need to hear that again. That shit was hard.
1, 2, 3.
I know that's you, boy. I know that's you be saying that. I'm saying it like that.
Elbows.
All right, cool. So this is pretty good. The overall energy is insane. Your clap is really dominant, and it's awesome when it's dominant like this. It sounds like it needs to be EQ'd more because it's starting. A lot of the frequencies are starting to clash with the crazy frequencies playing in the mid basses and the sub. Your sub, by the way, is dominating everything, so it's really hard to fit anything with that sub. Make sure your sub is not too loud. If the sub's too loud, it could easily dominate everything. Your sub's usually good. So if the sub is not too loud, then we need to make the mid basses pop out more. Because it's like the sub is kind of pushing everything and everything's starting to be like hidden a little bit. And we don't want them to hide, man. Like it almost sounds like the main mid basses are like really wide and there's nothing in the middle. Like it's loud, but we're like missing some of the space somewhere. It's not full.
Give me some room for throwing elbows. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Overall, there's a little bit more mud than usual in your usual mixes, so I would get your EQ, start cleaning up everything as much as possible, and really just make sure that sub lives in harmony with all your other sounds, because that sub is a big boy. And in these sections, like, I know they're meant to have dynamic switches, like these are like almost fill sections here, but it's almost at the same intensity, loudness, same frequencies are playing. So it's not really adding a dynamic shift like it should be. So if you were to like maybe fade it out more, there's many different tricks to add more dynamics. So maybe bigger fades, more EQs, phone filters, different things so that each phrase is like flowing from one another. Otherwise, it'll just sound like one run-on phrase. And then there'll be less dynamics, less movement, less intensity. We don't want any of that. We want the big ones. We want the big dance. They call it the big dance. We got invited to the big dance, and Tang is running the big dance. It's the masquerade. He did not invite any of the masquerade people, though, because Tang is just doing it himself. He's throwing his own masquerade with no mask. That's Tang. Throwing elbows. Good job. Up next, we got bullshit. It's not good shit, it's bullshit, man. By Eek Beats. Let's see what this is all about, man. That bullshit, man. Bullshit, really? Got that wubby. Ooh. Alright. That's some wubby wubbies. So this is pretty cool. This reminds me of like 4 stages, you know, at the Lost Lands, really just chilling, tripping, feeling. Thing is though, is the energy is pretty low. If we look at the levels here, we're really quiet. So we're at -12. We really need to be in the single digits for us to sound like it has enough intensity and enough oomph to it. Plus, if you're DJing it, we want to make sure that it's loud enough to compare with the other tracks. And the sub is just constant the whole time, so you want to add more silence, more movement with the sub too. And then layer your basses. So these main basses, they all sound very thin, very weak, because there's not enough layering going on, so you'll want to layer those too. Cool. Alright guys, unfortunately I have a lesson that I have to do right here, so we're going to have to speed these up a little bit. I won't be able to go into extremely full detail, but let's check this out. Up next we have Espin with the gold medal, WIP version 4. Let's roll. Uh-oh. DJ. Run it. We got some of them metals. We got some of them rhythms. We got an interesting blend going on here. It's like 3/4 metal, maybe 2/3 metal, 1/3 rhythm, which is very interesting. Now, it sounds more like a metal track that you made, right? Like a little metalhead got Ableton, made a metal track, and then the metalhead was like, you know what? I want to make a rhythm drop at the end of my metal song. So that's what it sounds like. It doesn't essentially sound like a dubstep song with metal influence. It sounds more like a metal song, a little sprinkle of rhythm at the end of it. The reason why it sounds like that is because we have a very long intro here. The drop is in metal. So these sounds are used for 1:54, about 2 minutes here. So you have these riffs first. Got these riffs next. We go back to these riffs with some added screams. The overall movement is going to slow in time. So you really want to maybe halfen this. You know, you don't really need this extra section. If you did add this extra section, you want to add a lot more movement, a lot more energy, so that as time progresses, these start to sound more intense. There's more layers coming in, and then we build up to the drop. Right now, there's not really a build up at all. We're just getting like swelled out here. And then you just throw us into this metal drop. Now keep in mind, this metal drop is a halftime drop. This is a drop that would happen later on in a song after we've ripped it full time. So like when you're dancing to this, you're dancing half the speed. We're not dancing at 140 or 150. We're kind of going half that. Like this. Like some of these, when really we need to be like that, you know? We can kind of get some of that, you know, right here. So like these sections actually have more energy than the drop, which is abnormal. We really want to be lots of high energy during this. If this is not meant to be a drop, then this is super, super too long. Like if this is supposed to be the drop and this is the whole intro, and this is way, way too long. You want to, you know, a good place to have your drop is like after 32 bars. So maybe at like bar 33 up here. That'd be nice. You can test it there. Or you can even add another 8 bars on top. Go by 8 bars. Feel what's nice. But right now, this is pretty long. Pretty long before we get to the actual dubstep. Keep those things in mind. And then also, when we get to the drop, you created lots of good energy here. Good fake out. And when we get hit with the drop, the sub is just not impactful enough. It needs to be thicker, bigger, and it will make a big difference. Right now, this sub is kind of small here. And then the hats, they're kind of going like pretty fast, either triplets or 16ths, something fast. And you could benefit by having some like quarter note hats, like quarter note rides. I mean, like So you can mess with different hats, different rhythms. It'll add more groove, add more bounce. That's what we're always looking for, man. Gotta give you that groove and that bounce. But I'm happy that you're trying to incorporate heaviness, heavy metal, rock with your rhythm. That's what I've been doing lately. I love it. It's just so sick. Good job. Very nice. That's Espin. Up next, we have a Cari with just experimenting. Let's get it done. Bustin' on now, bustin' on food, bustin' on you. Look at my man, look at that blue. Some of that food. Man, when I'm dripping on you. Love with the stop with the, chip with the chop with the, flip with the flop with the. Give me my Glock in a. Matter of fact, I just go to the stop with it. One, two, three, and got that shirt. Oh, that's just experimenting. You know what I'm saying? Cari. So at the beginning, we have some sick drill beat going on. You know, makes you want to rap. Sounds pretty empty right now without any vocals, without any like lead going on. It's just like atmosphere and a beat. So you, like, it's just an instrumental. You wouldn't just listen to an instrumental regularly, like in real life. You know, the song without the beat. Like, let's say you got the Lil Wayne song. Got it without the beat. You wouldn't just listen to the instrumental unless you wanted to add your own vocals. That's kind of what's happening here. It's sounding empty, like it's just an instrumental. So I would be aware of that. You can add a nice vocal, add something cool. The rhythms of like your pots and pan basses here. Like you built really nice energy and we're dancing to a specific time, right? The buildup is going at a specific time. Like we're dancing like this. And then you cut off the time. So this is like an off time silent glitch. So this comes in off time, which is pretty abrupt and kind of hurts the transition from the buildup to the drop. So this is something that I would be careful of. You want this timing to be perfect. During the climax of the song here, during the drop, we need this transition to be on point. Then this is the pre-drop. But when we get to this, the timing changes. The pots and pans are like delayed, offbeat. And overall, the rhythm is just not as danceable as it could be. You could add a lot more groove, a lot more rhythm here to make the transition from this super high energy buildup to this drop. The transition to this is pretty hard. but the energy here is completely different than the energy here. Like it's pretty low energy, and then this is pretty high energy. So you just want to make sure your first drop has more layers on those pots and pans, and that you structure the timing of each of those hits properly so you get the most intense flow and dance out of it. And on these, dun, 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 you want like more call and response. You want them to be talking back the melody. It's just repeating over and over, and that's just not going to work. You want there to be like some type of movement between the melody, like they're kind of talking back and forth between each other. It'll help. That shall help. Okay. We got Toasty. We got some Toasty. Angler with Toasty. Where's his toaster? I don't know. He used it. It's probably warm. Let's go.
Did you know that Baja Chicken has chef-inspired sauces?
Is this chef-inspired sausage then?
Do you know that Baja Chicken has chef-inspired sauces?
Baja?
I'm saying Toasty.
Are you kidding me? When you say toasty after you bite it.
Toasty.
Oh lordy. Where'd you find this? Ooh. Someone get my drink. Hold on.
Toasty. I'm saying toasty.
Did you know the Baja Chicken has chef-inspired
sausages.
Did you know the Baja Chicken has chef-inspired sauces?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm saying toasty.
I knew it. I know it. We knew it.
We say toasty after you bite it.
Toasty.
I'm saying toasty.
Toasty.
Alright. Cool.
I'm saying toasty.
Toasty.
inspired sauce.
Yeah. Boy. Pull up.
Toasty.
And close.
Mipsy. Toasty. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Toasty.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I feel a little bit toasted after this because that was a Toasty song. I really like how you branded it. It's so this song's branded so well that it makes me think your name is Toasty, which is crazy. Like, imagine a piece of toast DJing. Okay, don't imagine a piece of toast DJing. Imagine a guy named Toasty DJing. And his brand's about toast. This is a perfect song for him. Well branded, great theme. Making a piece of art like that is important, you know? We want people to come back to it for its unique qualities. But most importantly, this song has a 64 bar drop, which is really long, man. Halfway through, it's 32 bars. Usually 32 bar drop is long, right? Because most drops are like 16 bars nowadays. Nevertheless, halfway through the drop, it starts to get repetitive because we just listened to 32 bars of the wonky. So halfway through, you want to make some like pretty drastic changes, maybe a middle build, maybe some washouts, fake outs, anything you can do to kind of make this second half of the drop like a new special section. So it doesn't sound as repetitive over time. There are some background synths that are happening. It's like a little horn, like a brass, like dun, dun, dun. That thing's been playing, you know, for 32 bars. So we really need to start changing up those background synths. Those start to sound really repetitive over time. Fixing those things will help. You do add a lot of variation with the overall rhythm to the rhythm bases. You know, they go like quarter notes, then you speed them up. So that's good, but you have to change the other things around it as well. It will help if you're going to have such a long drop here. It can get repetitive quickly. So you just want to make sure you're getting that down. This is negative 8.8 lefts. It's almost negative 9 lefts. It's pretty quiet when you compare it to regular like rhythm tracks. You want to get this maybe like negative 6, negative 5 lefts. Get it a little bit louder so that it feels more intense. There'll be more energy if you do that. And so that we don't have to turn it up when listening to it. I had to turn up my interface to hear it at full volume. So we don't want that to happen either. Also, your clap is pretty small. The clap is what we're dancing to, right? The clap is our rhythm. That's what we headbang to, right? That clap. So the bigger, thicker, cleaner your clap is, the funner of a time everyone's gonna have a fun time. So get to layering on that clap. Mono and a stereo clap together will create a full clap. Keep that in mind. That sounds nice and clean. But overall, man, good job. There's lots of flow here, lots of bounce. I was dancing the whole time, if you didn't see, which is the most important thing here, man. If you're not dancing, you're a sad guy. And no one wants to be a sad guy. Last but not least, we got Wasted up in here with Bring It Back Collision Collab at 150 F minor. This ain't version 5, this is version 1. We got the first version, let's get it done. y'all heard of me. That's the one and only Wasted. Man, I don't see y'all. Get up.
I bring it back.
Bring it back. And close. Very nice, very nice, very nice. That is Wasted coming in hot with the Bring It Back Collision collab. Now, I should say, the energy at the beginning, I mean, you saw me. I felt like I was at the EDC announcing on stage. You know, the energy that's building at the beginning is beautiful. Lots of cool vibes. Your wubs here, it's really cool. These dynamic shifts are great. The thing is the energy levels as they start to wub drop down significantly on each wub. So you really want to find a good balance between your wubs, because like things are supposed to be getting louder in these sections. And if you use a trick where you're turning things down and adding more silence, it's kind of doing the opposite of what is supposed to happen. Like in time, the intro's quiet, it starts to get louder over time. But in these sections, if it starts to get quiet, it feels unnatural. Okay? So you want to make sure that these are strategically placed and strategically like they have to be loud enough while wubbing, basically. So we preserve dynamics, but still keep the intensity and energy high. That's important. That's a really cool thing that you did there. We want to keep that for sure. Huge problem here is the kick in the drop. The kick sounds like almost blown out. Like it sounds like it's maybe on the wrong note in the sampler or something. It just does not feel natural. It does not sound natural. So right here, it sounds very weak. And then right here, you can really feel it. And like, there's almost like no lows to it. It's like mids and a little bit of highs. And it sounds very small as well. and it's just not working well. Plus, you see the sidechain is pretty heavy here. It's pretty like that. It doesn't look like it's flowing too well with the sidechain. Let's see here. This looks very unnatural, and it doesn't sound natural either. So I would look into your kick, your sidechain, make sure everything is transitioning perfect. The layering in certain sections, like this, for example, we're missing certain parts of the frequency spectrum. So we have the sub controlling the lows. We have a bass that's controlling like a little bit of the mids and the highs, but there's not really anything controlling the low mids and like that grungy, dirty area. So it literally sounds like there's open space available in the frequency spectrum for these low mid, like chuggy basses, which you would layer with the bass that's currently playing so that you can have a full frequency spectrum, full image with your sub. That is about it. It looks like those are some big things that need to be worked on. Layering should be basically used on all the basses. You want to get your layering as thick as possible. You want to get that a thick boy. Otherwise, good energy. Lots of flow, lots of energy. It's all about that mix, man. Gotta get that mix clean. Thank you guys for joining. You guys are sick. I appreciate the time. If you have any questions, hit me up in Discord or Instagram. I'll be able to help you out at any time. Remember, I'm doing lessons. Hit me up if you need help. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys keep it real. Love y'all. Peace out. Stay fresh. Chicka-poo. Chicka-poo.